Okay, so since time has passed, you're not going to start by introducing ourselves. You're just going to go direct to the point. And for this training, I would recommend that you write short notes, because using this software, it's something that you have to practice from time to time so that you don't forget. So first, you're going to start by what are Google Forms. Google Forms are they're online surveys that help people to collect data, create forms, and fill out survey. They are customizable. You can customize them according to what you want. If you want to create if you want to create an invite, if you want to create a survey to collect data on a certain group of people, you can use the Google Forms. So without further ado, we're going to go into how to create the Google Forms. So I'm going to share my screen, and I am going to mute my video. Just give me a minute. So if you can see my screen, comment 1 on the chat in the Zoom meeting. Okay, that's 3 people. Okay, so to create a Google form, first of all, you're going to go to your web browser and you're going to type in forms. Forms.google.create, and it will take you to that page, and you are going to you're going to select Google Forms, sign in. And it will lead you to a page that looks exactly like this. So to create your first Google form, you're going to click on blank form, and it will give you an empty Google form where you can customize your form according to what you want. Like I mentioned earlier, these forms are very customizable and they are very flexible. So you can literally make whatever you want. So I'm going to show you different parts of this form. First of all, we have, this is the description box, where it's written untitled form. This is where the title of your form goes. If you're creating a party invite, you're going to write, this is a party. You're going to label it party invite. If you're creating a survey, you're going to label it. If you want to create a list for some online classes, that's what you're going to put on top there. And then the next blank space is the form description. In the form description, you describe what is going on in your form. For example, if it's a birthday invitation form, you're going to write there the details of the birthday invitation, like the date, the location, and everything you want people to know about that form. So we are going to create your very first question. Usually when you launch an empty blank form, the first question is usually there by default. So it is you to decide what you want to put on your first question. So in this case, I'm going to use an example to show you how to create a Google form. So I need one of you to give me an example of the kind of form you want me to create. If you have any ideas, just text it on the chat over there. Anyone? It could be literally anything. So since none of you are responding, we are going to go with a birthday party invite form. So like I said earlier, we are going to give this form a title, and in this case it's a birthday party. Let's say Laveline's birthday party. And we're going to come here to the form description, where we're going to describe the kind of form that you want to create. So this form has been created for So there we have a form title, and we also have a form description. So we're going to go to the very first question. There are different categories of questions when it comes to forms, and we have this drop down menu here, which explains to you. It gives you options on the kind of question you want to list. So usually in many forms, not all of them, most forms usually the first question is usually it's the first name, or either the first name or the full name. So for questions like that, questions that deserve short answers, you're going to select the short answer, which will give the person who is going to respond to the form, it will give them the opportunity to write their answer there. It will provide a line where they can fill out their name. So for our first question, we are going to have the full name of the recipient of the form. And to create the next question, you're going to click on this plus. You're going to click on this plus sign here, and it will provide a box for the next question. So after the full name, we are going to ask the recipient of the form if they are going to make it to Laveline's birthday party. And this is a yes or no question. For yes or no questions, we are going to select multiple choice. And this is because the recipient of this form is only going to need to select one answer. Right, let me zoom my screen a little bit. Right, and under where you typed your question, you're usually going to get suggestions. So these suggestions will guide you on the kind of answers that you're going to provide for the recipient of your form. So in this case, since this is a yes or no question, the suggestions here were yes, no, maybe. So in this case, you're going to add all of them, and this is how it's going to look like. The question, will you be available for Laveline's birthday party, is going to have multiple choices, and the choices are going to be yes, no, or maybe. And since we are done with this question, we're going to add another question. So the next question is going to be, the next question is going to be, we're going to ask the recipients if they're going to bring any gifts to the party, to the birthday party. Again, this is a yes or no question. So once again, like we did for the previous question, we're going to click add all, and it is going to generate the multiple choices. Yes, no, maybe. So the recipient is going to be able to choose one of these choices. It's either going to be yes or no or maybe. What about asking if going with friends? That's a really good question. You're going to add that to that's going to be our next question. What was it again? Will you be coming along with friends? This is another yes or no question. And we are going to switch it up a bit in our next question so that we don't have the same type of questions throughout the entire form. So will you be coming with friends? We are going to add, again, we're going to add all the options, and then you're going to go to the next question, which is going to be a little bit different. We're going to ask the recipient of the form if they are going to be coming with friends, how many friends are they going to be coming with? So if yes, meaning they're going to be coming with friends, how many friends will you be coming with? So this is an answer that deserves this is a question that deserves a short answer. It requires the recipient of the form to fill out a short answer. And in this case, you're going to select short answer for this question. And then you're going to go to the next question. feel free to type in any questions you feel like we should add to this form. So far, we have the full name. We have, will you be available for Loveling's birthday party? So I think those are enough questions. And so if by any chance you are creating a Google form and you have extra questions, you have extra question boxes, like in this case, you see this box is filled, this one is filled, this one is filled up to there, and we have an extra one and we don't have a question to add. You can always delete this box by clicking this bin here, and just like that, you have deleted the unused question box. And also, if you wanted to, let's say in this case, after the full name, we wanted to add a slot. We wanted to add a question for email address. We wanted to collect the email address of the recipient of the form, and we can't put it huku chini because it's going to interfere with the flow of the form. So you'll just come, since we want to insert the email address question between the full name and the first and the second. We want it to be in between the first and the second question. You're going to go to the first question. You're going to click that question box, and then you're going to click the add question, this button here, that plus button there. When you hover around it, it's going to tell you to add a question. So under the full name, we're going to have another empty slot where we can ask the user to input their email address. And just like that, we have inserted a question box where there wasn't one. And so at this point, we have a full form that gets the details, all the details we need to plan at this party. And there are a few typos which I'm going to fix. And so once you've created your Google form, which looks something like this, it's going to look similar to this. You're going to come to this second icon, the preview icon, the eye icon. You're going to click it, and when you click the preview icon, it's going to let you see your form from your recipient's point of view. So in this case, you can correct any issues. Like in this case, we have 2 slots for email address, so we are going to have to delete one, like I showed you just previously. And yeah, so you're going to go back to, sorry about that. We're going to go back to our form. I just deleted mine by accident, but I've just recovered it. We're going to go back to our form, and we're going to delete one email address question, and it is going to be this one. So yeah, just like that. And the good thing about Google Forms, any slight change you make, even if it is editing a typo, even if it is deleting a question, even if it is adding a question, all changes are usually saved to your Google Drive. So you don't have to keep on saving the form as you go. Every time you make a single change, all the changes are saved in your Google Drive. So you can always recover your form when you delete it by mistake, like I just did, and it's still going to be there. So I've already showed you how to preview your form. So now that our form is complete, we have seen that everything is fine. We have edited the things that we wanted to edit. And at this point, our form doesn't have any mistakes. It is ready to be sent. you're going to come here to this send button and you're going to click it, and it is going to give you this box here. And in this case, you have options here. You have sending options here. So in this case, do you have a question? Okay. So we are going, in this case, you're going to send via email. If you want to send the form, if you want to send your form via email, you're going to have to type in the email address of the person you want to send the form to on this blank space here. You see, in this case, it is addressed to. So you're going to type the name of the email address of the person you want to send the form to. So in this case, I'm going to type in my email address. And then you're going to check that box and you're going to send email. What about optional questions? Since I think those are all compulsory quizzes. I'm going to get back to you in a minute. So up to that point, you have covered sending the form via email. So remember, you have to check include form in email, so that while you're sending the email, the form can be included in the email, that in the message that you're sending. So if you want to get a link to the form so that you can share with your friends via WhatsApp or any other platform, you're going to come to this icon over here, and it is going to provide you the link. All the forms that I have been sending on WhatsApp in the media production group, I have been generating the link like this. So here is a link. You have the option to copy it, or if the link is too long, you can shorten the link by checking that box, and then you can copy it and send it to whoever you want to send it to. So I just realized that this form has all the questions on this form are compulsory. So what do we do when you want to have non-compulsory questions, like questions that you can either, if you want to, you can answer them, or if you can please mute your mic. Duncan Kirui, please mute your mic. Thank you. So if you don't want your questions to be compulsory, you're going to come here to this at the bottom of your question box. You have the duplicating, the icon where if you want to duplicate, you click there. We have the deleting icon, and then next to it we have a required button. This button here ensures that the question is compulsory. So if you want the question to not be compulsory, if you want the recipient of the form to have an option of not answering that question, you're going to just click that button. When it turns gray, it means that the question is not compulsory. So in this case, when we preview, you can find that that question is not compulsory. Do all compulsory questions, they have a star next to it. So if you want your question to not be compulsory, you just click back that box, that button, not the box, sorry. So we have up to that point, we have covered creating the form, deleting questions, adding questions, sending a form via email, and creating a link. If you want to add an editor to your form, you come here and click the send button, and then you go at the bottom of you go to the bottom where it's written add editor, you click that, and it will give you an option where you can add people or groups or calendar events. So you're going to type in the email address of the person you want to give editorial privileges to your form. This is someone who is going to be able to edit the form. They're going to be able to make changes to the form that you created, and they're going to be able to view the responses, like the people who fill out your form, the people who answer the questions that you put on your form. Their responses are usually saved in the Google form. So the person who you give editorial privileges to, they're going to be able to see all that. It's going to, everything you do on the form, they're going to be able to do the same thing. So I'm just going to type in an email address. You see, there's even a note here at the bottom. Editors will be able to view and delete form responses. And then you're going to send. So in this case, whoever I've added as an editor is going to be able to edit the responses to the form, and they're going also to be able to delete responses to the form, access updated. So yeah, so next on, sharing and responses. We have already covered sharing, actually. So we are going to go to responses. If you want to view the answers to your the answers of the recipients of your form, you're going to come here next to the questions tab. You're going to come here to responses, and you're going to click there. So in this case, there are no responses. So I'm going to send a link. I'm going to send the link to this form to the WhatsApp group, the media production WhatsApp group, and I need some of you to respond. Or let me just paste it here in this Zoom call, and I need some of you or all of you to respond to this form so that we can go through some of the responses and see how you can go around that. I've already sent the link. So let's fill out the form so that we can see what it looks like when people respond to a form. And also so that I can show you how you can link it to Excel sheets. Okay, I see we have already gotten 2 responses. 3. 4. I think you can work with those ones. But if you're still filling the form, just continue. 5, great. So in this case, we have five people have responded to this form. So here in the first column, we have the summary. This is a summary. This is usually a summary of each question. It splits the form into each question, and it gives the responses to it gives the responses to each question. It separates them. So emails, the email addresses are going to be collected separately. Full names are going to be collected separately. Whether you're going to attend the party or not, those answers are going to be collected separately. So the first one was email, and here we have the email addresses of everyone who filled the form. And the full name, we have the full names of the people who responded to the forms, and the availability. If you're going to be bringing gifts to the party, will you be coming with friends? Let me just make someone else the co-host so that they can take care of the people who are joining. So here is where you view the responses of the recipients of your form. And if you want to see how each question has been answered, you come to the next column, which is question. So in this case, we are viewing the answers to the question full name. So we can see Marvin Achanga, Victor Cheng, Metrin Odhiambo, Dan Cheriot, and Michael Mutuma. Those were the answers that were given to the full name question. And when you go to the next question, will you be available for Lavini's party? These are the responses that are given for that question, and so on and so forth. If you check the other questions, they're going to be presented in that exact format. And on the last column, we have the individual. In this column, you're going to view each and every recipient's answers. So in this case, we're going to view Metrin's answers. We're going to view Metrin's answers, and basically this is how Metrin filled the questions. And someone has asked a question that the last two parts, if answered no, it still tells you to fill the last question. Yeah. So this part, will you be coming with friends? Yes, no, maybe. It's still going to tell you to fill in the last question, because these two questions have been made compulsory. Like, you have to answer them. It doesn't matter what if you're going to be coming with friends or not. If you're going to still have to answer the last question. So like I said earlier, if you want to make a question optional, you just come here and you click this button. So I think I've already solved that problem. If you check the form now, you're going to see that the second last question, will you be coming with friends? It's not going to be compulsory. It's going to be an optional question, meaning you can either answer yes or no. Same to the last one, for those people who are not going to be coming with friends, because it is going to be irrelevant for you to fill in this last question if you're not going to be coming with friends. So this last question has to be optional, so that the people who answered no or maybe, they shouldn't have to fill this question. So if you want to link the responses of your form to Excel sheets, you're going to come here at the top of this form, and you're going to click the link to sheets. And it is going to redirect you to another form where we're going to create a new spreadsheet or select an existing spreadsheet. And you can only select an existing spreadsheet only if you had already created a spreadsheet for this particular form earlier. But if you had not, like in our case, we didn't create a spreadsheet when we started, you're going to select create a new spreadsheet, and then you're going to click create. After that, it is going to generate a spreadsheet for your form, and it is going to move all the responses from the form to this spreadsheet. So in this case, we're going to have a spreadsheet containing all the answers that were presented in that form. So if we had 5 responses in the previous form, in this case, we also have 5 responses. So basically, when you create a spreadsheet, it copies all the responses from the form and pastes them on a spreadsheet where you can view all the answers in one place. And if you want to share your spreadsheet, the process is the same. I'm going to assume that most of you know how to use Microsoft Excel. Basically, it's basically like Microsoft Excel. So if you want to share this sheet with someone else, you want someone else to view the results of your responses without necessarily having access to your Google form, you're going to come here at the top right corner, and you're going to click share, and you're going to go to the general access, and you're going to click that, and you're going to allow anyone with the link to be able to view the spreadsheet. Otherwise, if you just copy the link and send it to someone, they're not going to be able to view the link unless you manually give them access. But in this case, when I copy the link, and let me just paste it in the chat box real quick so that you can be able to view it from there. If you're able to view the spreadsheet, type yes on the Zoom meeting chat. If you've been able to view the spreadsheet, I've just sent the link. If you've been able to view the spreadsheet, type yes in the meeting chat. That is That's nice. If all of you have been able to view the spreadsheet, that's nice. And up to that point, does anyone have a question? Or is there a question that you've been wanting to ask that is yet to be answered? If you have a question, you can unmute and ask it, or you can type it in the meeting chat. Is there anyone who has a question up to that point? So if none of you has a question, I am going to give the assignment that Mr. Pius was talking about earlier. So the first 3 people to fill the form, because we have 8 participants, that is excluding me and Mr. Pius. I'm going to give you an assignment to create a Google form. And the first 3 are going to get the first 3 to complete the assignment and submit it. Submitting it means sending me the link. The first 3 are going to get 500 shillings each, and the next 3 are going to get 100 shillings each. So the form is going to be about, it's going to be a school registration form. Create a school registration form, like the form you fill when you're registering to a certain school. Like right now we have a lot of boot camps that offer online classes. So imagine you're the owner of a boot camp and you're creating an online registration form. You want members to register for your classes. So create a form and share with me the link to your form and the link to the spreadsheet of your form. If you've understood, type yes in the Zoom chat. I'm saying, okay, Michael Musuma has understood, but I'm going to repeat it again. I imagine you're the owner of an online bootcamp. An online bootcamp is like an online school. So you create a registration form where students can fill out their details and register for classes in your online school. James, have you understood?
Yes, I've understood.
Okay. Has everyone else understood? If you've understood, you can unmute your mic and say you've understood, or you can type yes in the chat. Good. So if everyone has understood, Loveline, have you understood?
No.
So I'm saying create an online. Imagine you own an online school, like just imagine you own an online school. I really can't get an example right now. Imagine you own an online school and you want students to register for your school. So you're supposed to create an online form that is going to prompt them to fill in certain details. And these details will help you admit them into your school. So you're going to create a form that they can fill so that they can be registered to your school. Just create an online registration form for a school. Have you understood?
Yes, I've understood.
Okay. So if all of us have understood at this point, you should start right now. And it's something simple. You can even create it on your phone actually. So just when you're done, share with me the link. And remember the first 3 people to submit, there's a prize to be won. So, and if you haven't understood, if you're stuck somewhere, if you have an unanswered question, just let me know. I will share the recording as soon as I'm done editing the video. It should be sometime tomorrow, but not later than Thursday.